you can have a platform too. You can share your voice too. You can talk about the things that matter in the way that you want to talk about them right now. You don't have to beg and cancel and unfollow and refollow and make some stories about Mindful Melissa. Mindful Melissa is just a human being like you. She just started sharing about her journey. You can start just sharing about this if you want. It's just we're waiting for someone to save us. And that's, again, this war consciousness. And on a deeper, it's this existential thing that, like, we're waiting for someone to save us from ourselves. We're waiting for someone to save us from the confusion that we feel, the hurt that we feel, the pain that we feel, the sorrow that we feel. It hurts so fucking much to see what's happening in the world, and I don't want to feel it anymore. So if I put all my energy into getting you to talk about it, then maybe I won't feel it anymore. And now they're talking about it, but for some reason I'm still feeling, and if anything, I'm feeling worse. Because now everywhere I go, I'm just reminded of it again and again and again. And it just seems like the world just keeps getting worse. And every time I open Instagram, it's like horrifying. I feel like it's like trigger warning after trigger warning, and the world just keeps getting worse. And I thought what happened there was better, but now it's this. And apparently that's still going on too. And I can't. How am I going to put anything out in the world when it's just constant war and chaos and poverty and suffering? Like, I might as well just give up right now. Like, what's the point of me even sharing my gifts? What's the point of me even, like, putting out something of beauty? Who am I? Why would I put out something of beauty when people are suffering? Are you following along? Are you catching this? When the Titanic was sinking, everyone took their positions. And do you know one of the most potent ones are? The only one I actually remember from the movie? It was the two guys that started to play the violin. The Titanic was sinking. Everyone was going to die. Some people may die later in life through a lifeboat. Some people may die right now. That's life. We're all going to die. But we can choose to make the moment a little bit more beautiful. We can choose to be those brave souls that decide to play music, because the Titanic is sinking. Just in case you didn't know, we all got a death sentence here. We're all going out the same way. And instead of that scaring us, to me, that's my greatest muse. My greatest muse is the fact that this is so fucking temporary. One day I'm going to be gone. And I don't know if there's going to be Spotify. I don't even know if anyone's going to listen to these podcasts. I don't even know if 3 years people will listen to these podcasts. We'll have these iPhones. I'm sure in the next 100 years we won't. And all the stuff we're putting on the internet, it's all so important. It's going to be gone. Maybe the ancient Egyptians had iPhones, but they were blown away in the dust. And all we have left are the pyramids. I'm actually curious what's going to make it 2,000 years from now. Highly doubt Instagram is. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have history books, at least in 100 years, that talked about some of these. There was an election that happened. Whoa, the election of 2020. Whoa, there was a thing called COVID. Whoa, crazy. Apparently, lots went on then. Crazy times. Oh, and then there was another catastrophic thing, and another catastrophic thing, and another. Wow, must have been such a terrible life back then. Until we go way into the future, then they're going to be romanticizing us. Oh, I am a Lemurian American soul. Yes, I channel the Pleiadian galaxies and share them on Instagram. That is my soul fam. I think we have to get further away from something to start to romanticize it. So at best, we'll have a history book. After that, best maybe will be a romanticized ancient civilization. And after that, we'll be forgotten. Do you know your great-grandparents' names? Do you know the parents of your grandparents? What are their names? Most of us don't. Those were the people who raised your grandparents. You don't even know their name. Do you see how quickly we get forgotten? We make such a big deal of all of these things. I hope my great grandkids know my name, at least, maybe a little bit about me. I mean, that's probably the most of who's going to remember you. And this is a really humbling realization. When we realize that we are just life, giving life back to life itself. We are a season. We walk up that stage. Imagine life is this beautiful center Broadway stage. We walk up those stairs, getting ready, practicing our lines, putting the costume on. And then we walk out on stage. We're walking, we're center stage. We're in our 30s. We're in our 40s. We are full living it, but we don't even realize it. And then we start to move towards 50s, 60s, 70s, and we're kind of off the center of the stage. We're moving out to stage left, and we're in our 80s and 90s and hoping that someone visits us and someone holds our hand when we pass until we're gone. And that's life. It's a moment. It's a dance. You come, you do the dance, you play as big as you can, you're scared, you're second guessing yourself, you're not sure if if you're doing it right. You know, we're all like waiting for someone. It really showed me like we're all like little kids still, like waiting for someone to tell us like, you're doing it right. You got it. You know, when you were a little kid, you were like trying something new, you're like trying biking, you like looked up, you're like, am I doing it right? We're all like living life like that still today. We're like, wondering, is this how it's supposed to be done? But the most humbling thing is, yes, there's a lot of change, but I can guarantee your parents felt like that too. I can guarantee you they felt the same way when they held you in their arms and they're like, am I doing this right? It doesn't come with a guidebook, though there's lots of books out there, but none can ever really guide you. We're life giving back to life itself. It's all a cycle. It's all a season. The problems that you have right now that you are so burdened about, one day you're not even going to remember. You're not even going to remember this problem. You're going to look back. If you write a diary, I would say write some physical diaries because we don't even know what will be seen in the future. But like, you know, when you go back, you can look at your notes app from like even 3 years ago, you're like, oh my God, I can't even remember thinking this. Like, it's so different than how I think now. Even me last year, I'm like, whoa, like, how did I, see the world in that way? I've changed so much. So that's everything has seasons. And when you're in a season, it feels like it's forever. But can you go back and think about like that season of like COVID, how different it was, that season of, 2017, that season of 2012, that season of 2010, that season of 1995, like how different all of these seasons in your life were, let alone all the micro seasons between. Like life is so seasonal and it moves and it shifts. And we only recognize it looking back, but you're in it. So this problem that you have that's so big in your mind, one day you're actually going to like wish you had that problem.